All right, in this video, I'm gonna go over the 3 most value for time rowing variations that you can basically do in any gym, anywhere. The first rowing variation is the very simple bent over barbell row. A common mistake I see with many people on their bent over rows with a barbell is they don't go nearly heavy enough. You have to remember when you're doing a barbell bent over row, you're incorporating a lot of muscle mass, a lot of muscles, right? Basically your entire posterior chain, hamstrings, glutes, low back erectors, lats, rhomboids, traps, forearms, biceps. That is a lot of muscles. It's a major compound movement. It's one of the best movements you can do just to get bigger and stronger. It's an incredible exercise just to develop brute strength. So as you can see, I have a bar here loaded up. This is about, I think, 140 kgs. It's like around 315, 310, 315, give or take pounds. And so I'm gonna do some bent over rows properly. And you'll see right here, I'll just do 5 reps. 2, 3, 4, 5. So as you can tell, I'm using a bit of momentum and a bit of body English. I want to do that because I'm using so much muscle. Totally fine using a bit of momentum. That's how you're gonna get the muscle strong. When you're doing the rows, you're doing this particular rowing variation to develop brute strength. This is a great exercise for deadlifts, any kind of just total body strength. A bent over row is amazing because you're using your entire posterior chain. So, rowing variation number 1, heavy bent over rows. The second rowing variation, extremely high value for time that you can do in basically any gym, is gonna be the seal row. As you can see, requires a little bit of a setup. I just have 2 boxes with a bench and then the bar propped up on some barbells so you can easily rack it and unrack it. The seal row is an amazing rowing variation because it actually allows you to really train your lats and mid to upper back. I like doing it with a barbell because you can load it up pretty heavy. So, just like so, unrack the bar, and then just try to pull it through the bench. So as you can see there, really all my mid to upper back is working. You feel your lats, traps, rhomboids, but you can really isolate your lats because your low back, glutes, and hamstrings, you've taken those muscles out of the equation, which is why it differs from like the bent over barbell row. I love this exercise to really train horizontal pulling and to really isolate your lats. Works amazing just to get stronger in horizontal pulling. Don't let your posterior chain take over. The third, probably most high value for time rowing variation, the most common. It's gonna be a single arm dumbbell row or a 3-point row, simply because you have 3 points of contact when you're doing it. In my opinion, one of the best ways to do these single arm dumbbell rows is heavy weight for high reps. I like using straps just to avoid my grip being the limiting factor. That way I really can exhaust the muscles to fatigue, the pulling muscles like my lats, traps, rhomboids. You can really work them to complete failure. So when you're doing these rows, you get the strap, just try to keep your chest up, and you just row through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Trust me, if you're using a heavy enough weight and you're accumulating 3 sets of 20 unbroken rows, you're gonna get an amazing strength and hypertrophy stimulus. Single arm dumbbell rows, super basic. I do not like to overcoach it. I feel like if you're using heavy enough weight and your form is good enough, your chest is up and your back is reasonably flat, you're gonna hit the intended muscle groups. I don't stress out about the rowing motion or pulling forward and then back to get the rows. Yeah, you will probably isolate your lats a bit more doing that motion, but I just do it to train basically my entire back. So again, just make sure you're not swinging the weight and you're pulling it all the way up. 3 sets of 20, guarantee you will get the pump of a lifetime. Single arm dumbbell row, 3-point row, call it whatever you want. It's an amazing, high value for time rowing variation.